What am I supposed to do? Cross my legs and hope for like Monday at 9 a.m.? Like, I can't control when this baby comes. It comes when it wants to come. It is ups and downs, like big ups and big downs. With pregnancy, you just have to take each day as it comes. The moods, I mean, it literally swings so fast. The realization I had was the importance of surrendering to the fact that you have changed and your life will change a lot. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the ups and downs, the roller coaster that has been my first trimester. I am pregnant for the very first time, and this whole roller coaster of being pregnant is a journey, let's say. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing more on weeks kind of like 8 to 12 of the first trimester, because I have done another video on, you know, the earlier stages, weeks 4 to about 8 or something. I talk a little bit more about like my personal story and also about my biorhythm then, like how my body was feeling or like my cravings and stuff like that. So do check that video for reference. But in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the changes that have happened, because pregnancy is most certainly a time of tumultuous waves, shall we say, physical experiences, mental experiences, and a general attitude towards pregnancy. It is up and down. In this video, I'm going to be really honest about how I feel about pregnancy and how I think a lot of women probably feel, despite the media showing us images of new mothers staring into their beautiful child's eyes and being so happy with their baby bumps and stuff. The reality of pregnancy is that it's not always joyous and fun and happy. You know, it can be really difficult, shall we say. So anyway, I will be telling you everything about my physical, mental, and anything else that pops up. So please enjoy. I do hope that this is helpful for you. So I'm just going to get straight into some physical things. Actually, as I'm filming this, I am about 11 weeks and 4 days, but I've just come from an ultrasound in a new clinic. Now I'm going to talk about my transition, why I moved clinics, but having just had that test, I don't know, it's something about after the ultrasounds where it's like, it's so real in my mind. Because in the first trimester, it's like you're talking about pregnancy, you're changing your lifestyle for pregnancy, you're maybe telling people about your pregnancy, but you can't even see it. You know, like I'm a bit bloated, but that's probably down to the huge lunch I've just eaten. There is no bump, other than my boobs being about 400 times bigger. There's no real evidence that I'm actually pregnant. So it's that weird thing of like knowing wholeheartedly that something big is happening to your body, but actually having no physical evidence of it. And I'm excited about getting a baby bump. I'm also like a little bit nervous of the weight gain stuff, although I know that's a completely natural part of pregnancy. It's just going to be a slightly challenging one for me personally, just because of my issues with eating disorders in the past. But anyway, we will get to that, and I think that's another really important thing, that with pregnancy, you just have to take each day as it comes, you know? Days like today, I am so excited to have this little life inside me and to see on the ultrasound, to see that little heartbeat, like, oh God, it's amazing. I don't know, it's just such an exciting feeling. But like yesterday, I made a video about how difficult pregnancy is and how hard it is. And I talk very honestly about the fact that it is not this sugar-coated 9 months of bliss. It is ups and downs, like big ups and big downs. So that's something I've kind of come to realize throughout this first trimester, is that it isn't what you see in the movies or what you necessarily read online or something. It's a tough time for sure, but there are those windows of just joy and bliss and excitement. I would say like around week 9, it wasn't morning sickness, but it was just a little bit of like, the thought of an egg just disgusted me. And fish too, like I don't eat meat, I'm a pescatarian, so I eat fish, but I just like, ooh, no thanks, no thanks. It was like a heavily tofu and cheese kind of diet for a while. And it's amazing because like, you know, you think, right, I'm gonna be really healthy, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat that. But you do find, your body will tell you what it needs, what it does not want. I have become obsessed with pineapple. I'm just eating that every single day. And I actually live in Japan where fruit is really expensive. I'm just like, sorry, husband, this needs to happen. Like stocking up one of each fruit in the shops, because I'm just like, I need fruit, I need fresh vegetables. And I think right now, like, this is a really important time to give yourself that nourishment that you need, because obviously your cravings are indications of things that you lack. So as for the morning sickness, personally for me, it wasn't so much like I'd wake up and feel sick and vomit. I think there was one time where I had to get off the train when I was on my way to work, because I just thought, I don't really want to throw up in front of all these people. But as soon as I got off, I kind of just took a breath and then I was fine. I actually never ever threw up during my first trimester because of morning sickness. And I'd say it was kind of like I'd eat, and after I ate, I'd feel sick. Sometimes I make burritos for me and my husband, and it's like I'd eat a burrito and halfway through I'd have to just have a little kind of like 10-minute breather, because I'm like, I just can't eat like with gusto, I just have to slow it down. And even after that I was like, oh, I can't eat dessert, which is completely unlike me because I'm a massive dessert girl. I love a little sweet or a little chocolate after my meal, but I just was not feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at all. And I'd say, yeah, that probably lasted from week 8.5. I started noticing that. Week 9 was rubbish because my mood was also really low. Week 10 as well. And I'd say like probably about a week ago, I started being like, oh, I can actually eat things now and enjoy them. So that has lifted. Going back to what I just said, the moods, I mean, it literally swings so fast. So as I said, like today I'm full of the joys of spring, loving the fact that I'm pregnant. And then tomorrow I could go into this like deep lull where I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna cope? How am I gonna have peace? How am I gonna earn my money? Like, I think the reality is that there are so many questions, so many unknowns, and so many like uncertainties about being a mother and about how you're going to manage, financially and just like mentally in terms of just like dealing with life. So I think it is a natural thing to be slightly terrified, but then swing into being really excited and happy about what's happening to you. Yeah, it's a slightly chaotic world in my emotional space right now. It's up and down like pretty much daily, but thankfully my husband is really, really supportive. I have decided not to tell anyone yet because I would like to wait for the first trimester to be over before sharing the news. This is basically because I didn't want to have to tell everyone, after telling everyone that I'm pregnant, I didn't want to have to tell everyone, oh, actually, I've had a miscarriage. So to avoid all that complication, I haven't told anyone yet, but this month is my mother-in-law's birthday, and that's kind of going to be her little happy birthday, welcome to grandmahood once again kind of gift thing. So we will start telling my family and probably my close friends. I'm a pretty private person, and I also felt like I had a lot of questions in my own head to figure out for myself. So I didn't really want to tell people because I know, like, not in a bad way, but I know people are going to be like, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? They're going to have so many questions of their own. And I just wanted to be able to give them an answer and not feel panicked by their questions. Because like, I think pregnancy is a time for you to really realize that no matter how many questions you have in your mind, there is always more, like, and I think just like that kind of like perceived pressure, at least from people around me who love me and care about me and are excited about it too, but just that feeling of the pressure I didn't need whilst I'm trying to figure out this emotional roller coaster and whilst I'm trying to just like process everything in my head myself. Just a quick note on that though, I think it's totally up to you when you decide to tell someone. Like, it's your body, it's your baby, it's your mental health. But my feeling is that I want to be sure in myself. I want to be confident that the baby's healthy and it's definitely going to happen before I start like letting people know and things. But I don't want to leave it too late, because that could, I think, kind of hurt people's feelings. So as I said, it's coming into month 3 and I'm planning to tell people this month. So far, I have not gained any weight. I actually lost a little bit, which is probably due to the feeling of not wanting to eat so much because of the sickness and not drinking alcohol. Like, I was a keen fan of alcohol, and obviously now I'm just not able to consume. And also I've got my energy back. So I think, weeks 6, 7, 8, all I wanted to do was just sit on the sofa. Like, obviously I had to work and stuff and I had to push myself, but I just didn't have the energy. Whereas now I would say I have my energy back. I'm able to do things. And even if I do feel a bit tired, like, I'm still able to like go to the shops and do the shopping and do the housework, but it's not at like 100% capacity that my normal self is able to do it. So in some ways I definitely have changed in terms of, I think it's more like I don't have that like drive to go out and work and be busy. Like, I'm quite happy editing videos or doing online lessons from the comfort of home in my pajamas until like midday kind of thing. Like, I think pregnancy has helped me tap into that more relaxed side of me. Like, I'll always be a little bit highly strung, but I think that desire just to nest, to be at home. I'm super into cooking now as well. Like, my husband's like, you should be pregnant more often because these dishes are getting really good. I think I just love that feeling of like being home, whereas the outside world feels just like this big thing that I can't really be bothered with. But saying that, I am working and I am continuously putting out videos on YouTube. So I am keeping going, but I wouldn't say with the same gusto that is kind of natural for me. I'd like to make a slightly important point about what changed in my feeling. I wanted to comment on surrendering, the importance of surrendering. Sorry if this sounds a bit woo-woo, but I think the moments that I get frustrated and frightened is when there's a bit of resistance. I'm resisting this new chapter of my life because I'm freaking out. Like, what's gonna happen? How am I gonna cope? All these questions that are obviously going through your head when you are about to face a completely new chapter of your life, which involves taking care of another human being. So I'm not judging myself for having these like frustrations and feelings of overwhelm or fear. I'm not judging myself for that at all. But I think I had the realization where it's like, I just have to surrender to the fact that I don't have the energy that I used to have. I don't have the desire to socialize and party like I used to have. The pregnancy has massively changed, not just, what's going on inside my belly, but also the feeling I have towards life. And sometimes it feels, I'll be honest with you, like sometimes I feel bored. I feel a little bit like, not empty, but like, I don't know, it's a difficult thing to describe. I don't feel good all the time from this pregnancy. And there are so many questions and unknowns and fears, basically. It's a scary time for me and for many pregnant women, I think. But the realization I had was the importance of surrendering to the fact that you have changed and your life will change a lot. And it's kind of like, as soon as you surrender to that, as soon as you let go and embrace this nesting mode, for example, the fact that you just need to sit in comfort, in quiet, whilst being a creatrix, like you are doing phenomenal things with your body. And I think my husband put it really, really nicely. When I was tired, but I was pushing myself, he said, you don't need to, do all this stuff when it comes to like earning money and cleaning the house and stuff, because you're already doing so much inside. I like to be productive and I like to see, results and stuff, but that really hit home. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And even by nurturing the baby, by taking care of myself, that in a way is productive. So I do try, when I'm struggling, I do try to remember the importance of surrendering to the situation and even surrendering to the frustrations and overwhelm and fear. Just embracing that as a part of the pregnancy and not focusing on it so much. Just trying my best and letting each day come and go. Some other physical things. I am a migraine sufferer. I get headaches and migraines. They don't come too frequently. Like, I'd say I get a migraine about once every 2 years, and it's usually because of exertion. So if I've like exercised too hard and I haven't had enough water, for example, or if I think like after I finished all my exams and stuff, I got a massive migraine. So they're not that common occurrences in my life. However, I think it was like week 10, I had 2 migraines in 1 week. And I'm not talking like, oh, I have a bad headache. I'm talking like vomiting, going blind, have to just sleep in a dark room. And they were only short. They were the shortest migraines I've ever had. I think I was like, from the time of starting suffering from it to the end of it, I think that was probably about 6 hours, which is the shortest time span when it comes to my personal experience with migraines. And like generally just like sort of waking up with headaches and stuff, I haven't really had that too much, but it was just that weird spell of migraine, which I personally put down to just changes in hormones. I don't know why that was. Thankfully, I've not had any more migraines or headaches since then, but I wanted to mention that here just in case anyone is experiencing an increase in headaches or head pain or migraines and you're pregnant. Another really weird thing that happened to me was in this part of my hand, I got this really like tiny little dots all over my hands, just here. And I don't think it was super obvious, but like I could definitely notice. It was really bizarre. I was thinking like, have I got hives? Is it like a rash? Is it contagious? Is it gonna spread all over my body? Like I was kind of worried about that, but it's strange because they just sort of disappeared after a week. So again, I don't really know what that was about. It just sort of like appeared and then disappeared. And similarly, like I don't even know if that was like pregnancy related, but it is something I've never ever had before and did happen in the same week as my migraines. So I think my body was just sort of like, we're gonna do a big shift here and weird things will happen, but don't worry about it, it will all be over soon. So yeah, anyway, that happened. So in terms of my diet, I would say that it was different. Now it's gone back to normal, and I will say that I want a lot more sugar. I've gotten really into Starbucks white mochas, which I don't think is the healthiest thing in the world, but at least it's some calcium in the milk. So I am trying to just limit the number of pumps that go into my coffees and also the shots as well, the shots of coffee. But yeah, that's my thing right now. I'm really into sugar. I'm really craving sugar, which is probably something to do with needing intense amounts of energy for the growth of this increasingly large little baby. I think it's now about the size of a strawberry. I'm rambling on about myself, but I really would love to know as well, like your experiences of any of these points. So like, for example, did you notice an increase in sugar cravings, or did you find yourself like touching food that really surprised you, like you never usually eat? I had an event with one of my close friends, and I haven't told her yet, I haven't told anyone, but there was a pick and mix section, and I've always loved pick and mix. It just like takes me back to childhood, and it has like a really soft spot in my heart. But they had a pick and mix, and I was like, oh, this looks amazing. And straight away she went, oh, are you pregnant? I was like, what? Like, I think I mentioned this in my other video, but a student of mine also, she was like, wow, you look amazing, you're like glowing. And I'm like, how do women know? Like, they just seem to know. So I have to kind of go, oh, yeah, thank you, and just brush it off. But yeah, it's quite amazing, really. So anyway, yeah, sorry, do let me know if you've had any of the similar experiences or perhaps something completely different or additional. Do leave a comment in the comment section below. My last but one point is my changing of clinic. So I found this clinic really near my house, and they were really clean, pretty punctual, like all was well, and super near my house. So it was like really convenient just to like walk across the road and go and get the ultrasounds and stuff. The thing is though, I went there expecting, I don't know, blood test, ultrasound, checkup, you know, what medications are you taking? Are you eating the right kinds of foods, or are you quitting the right kinds of things? Like just checking as someone who's first time pregnant. They literally sat me down, did a vaginal ultrasound, and they checked me out. And it was like over in 5 minutes. And I was like, where's the guidance and person to lean on? And also that was not cheap. That was 8,000 yen, which I think is about, I have no idea because like the prices mean nothing anymore. But like, anyway, it was a lot more expensive than I was expecting. Maybe like $60 for one tiny ultrasound, no advice, no medicines, no anything, just an ultrasound. And one ultrasound, and they want me to go there every 2 weeks. And I was like, this is gonna be really expensive for no support or guidance. So my husband was great. He did a lot of research and he found a clinic relatively near my house, which actually do the ultrasounds, they take care of you, they give you advice, they give you blood tests. And it's kind of like a clinic, but with a kind of like hospital above. They have beds, you can have your own private room and give birth. They have a delivery room and all the people and the equipment that is required. So we decided to change and go for this. And this is where I just went today to kind of like suss them out, see what it was like. And it was a good place. And I just want to say to anyone that's considering some healthcare professional, I'd say shop around. Like, you have no obligation to go to the first person that you see. It's not just about giving you advice and stuff, but it's about feeling supported and about feeling safe and finding a place that is going to give you the service that you need. So like, if you need a private room, or if you need like an epidural, or all these kinds of things. Like in Japan, it's kind of like common that you give birth and straight away they take the baby away so that the mum can rest. I'm like, I want a cuddle. I've just given birth, you know. I want to give a cuddle to this little thing. So, you know, I had to clarify, like, is it okay to keep the baby? And she's like, it's okay, but you're probably going to need to rest. So as long as I have that flexibility, then that's fine. And they seem to really understand. I want to ask questions. I want to know about my birth, you know, the birth at this time of great uncertainty. So they were great. And I think, yeah, that's where I'm going to have the baby. The one thing that shocked me, and I'm still a little bit in shock about, this is a place that offers epidurals, pain-free labor, and not everywhere in Japan does. I was so surprised by that, because I kind of assumed, like, if you're going to give birth sensibly. Take the painkiller, like take the epidural. But you have to kind of request it or search it out. It's not a common thing, I think. It's increasing now, but probably about like 30 to 40% of people take an epidural. And this was an important factor in finding a clinic suitable for me. This clinic do epidurals, but they told me, oh yeah, we can only administer epidurals from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? Cross my legs and hope for like Monday at 9 a.m.? Like, I can't control when this baby comes. It comes when it wants to come. And my pain tolerance is approximately 0. Like, I almost faint during blood tests. I've got no pain tolerance whatsoever. So, you know, I loved that place on so many levels. But now I'm kind of faced with this feeling of like, what happens if it's like 5 o'clock on a Friday and I go into labor and I'm like, there's no option for pain relief. Like, for me, I don't tolerate pain well. So I've always kind of considered that the least painful option would be the best for me. But now it's kind of like, I'm literally not gonna know until the day. So that was a bit of a scary thing, and I only found it out today. So there's an element of like, I'm frightened about that. But yeah, anyway, I'd love to know like your stories. Like, did you take a pain-free option? In my head, I'm like, why would you not? But of course, everyone's different and everyone has their own relationship with the birth. So I respect that. My very, very last point that I'd like to make in this extremely long video, sorry about that, is my first purchase for the baby. Now, I still haven't bought any maternity stuff. The only thing I've bought is bras in the maximum size I can possibly find in the shops in Japan, because I'm just huge. You can't really see it now, but I mean, oh my God, they're humongous. But anyway, I haven't bought anything for the baby, except I did go to Zara Home and I drifted into the kids section and I fell in love. Oh my God, it's so cute. I am slightly obsessed with rabbits, so I thought we would bring the little addition to the family and make it obsessed with rabbits too, because this is just too cute. If you can't buy cute things when you're about to have a baby, then when the hell can you? So yeah, that is for the baby. So cute. Anyway guys, this is exceedingly long. Thank you for watching. I do hope this was interesting for you. Please do share your comments, your thoughts, and any personal experiences. I would love to know. And until next time, bye bye.